Hello everyone, this video tutorial is about Windows 7 Basic. When you open your computer, you see a screen that appears like what you are seeing here. This is what we call the desktop. On the desktop, there are usually icons. For example, these are icons. However, you may find a desktop with many icons. No, it is not a must that your desktop has to be with only these two icons. Sometimes there are many. For you to open the items on the desktop, you just do it by double clicking on the icon of your choice. Still on the desktop, we have the taskbar. If you move your mouse piece below the screen, this is what we call the taskbar. On the taskbar, we have got the pinned programs, which can be opened by simply clicking on one of those pinned programs. And on the left of the taskbar, we have the start button. We left click on it to display the start menu. On the start menu, this is our start menu. It has a number of options, and one of the most important is the shutdown button. If you're done with working with your computer, you can decide to switch off your computer by switching on this start button. Still on this start menu, we have on our left hand side, we have the program files, and on the right hand side, we have got the folders. And if you want to start a program and it is not displayed on the start menu, for instance Microsoft Word, then it means you have to go to all programs. You point there and it takes you to more other programs. Since we want Microsoft Word, we shall look for Microsoft Office folder. We do that by clicking on this scroll button until we locate the folder for Microsoft Office. Now here is the folder for Microsoft Office. We click on it once to display the files. Inside we are seeing many files on your screen for my sake, but however we have got two versions of Microsoft Office. That is why we see, for instance, Microsoft Access 210 and some others down here is talking of 2007. Now we go to Microsoft Office Word 2007 and we click on it once. Then it displays. This is your Microsoft Office Word 2007. On the upper right corner of every Windows program, there are options, three important options to deal with, and the last one is to close. So to close this program, we click on this button once. You see now I'm back to the desktop screen where we started from. The easiest way to find a program is to go on the start button. We click on start button, then it displays the start menu, and just below here we shall click inside that search for programs and files. Now for instance, we want to deal with our Microsoft Word. Here we shall type Word. When you type Word on the start menu, it displays for you the program. There you will just go and click on Microsoft Office Word 2007 to open it. We click once. Then your program again will open, as you can see. So now we can close this program by going to the close button. We click there once. Then we shall now again access our desktop. Sometimes you may need to save your work on desktop. That is possible. But however, if you have very many files and folders on desktop, the desktop may be filled up. So we can do the saving on some other folders. For instance, the document folder, we access it by going to the start button. We click on it once, then it displays the start menu. There we shall go to documents. We click once on documents. Then inside this folder documents, you can see we have some other folders, and maybe on your screen you may be having files. That is okay. So this is where you can save your documents from. So what we have on our screen is the Explorer window, where we can find folders and files. Now we'd like to create a folder on this window. We do that by right clicking, then we go to new. From new we go to folder and we click on folder. Then after clicking on folder, the folder is here created, but it has no name, so we click aside to name it. So this folder is known as new folder, but this is not appropriate name for the folder. Then that means we have to give it a new name. So to give it a new name, we have to click left on that folder we want to rename, then we right click. From right click we scroll completely down, then we select the option for rename. So when we click on rename, let's click once, our folder gets highlighted blue. This gives us an option of now typing in the name of the folder we want, and here we shall call it example. We type using the keyboard. So after giving your folder a name, you can click aside, and the folder has moved from new folder and it is now called example. Or else we can also go directly and we do the renaming after creating the folder. So we do that by right clicking, then we go to new. From new we go to folder. Now here we see the folder, new folder is already highlighted blue. It means we can just go directly and do the naming of the file. For example, we can call it videos. So after giving it the folder name, you click aside. So that is how we deal with folders, creation and renaming. Now we are done with creating folder. We can now go ahead and create the Microsoft Word file. We do that still by right clicking, then we go to new option, and then we go to Microsoft Office Word document. We click there once. By default it shows you that the file name is new Microsoft Office Word document. Since it is already highlighted blue, we can go ahead and we just give it a name by typing the name of that file. For instance, we call it ICT report. So when you're done with typing the name of the file, you still do the same, click aside anywhere. Now the name of the file is ICT report. So now that we have created our files, we would like to organize them, and we want to get this file ICT report and we put it in a folder example. So we shall click, hold the mouse piece, then move up to the folder example, then you release the mouse piece to allow it go in that folder. We had it previously down here, but now our report is not there. How can we access it? We double click on this folder known as example. We do that by pressing the left click button twice. So when you double click, you see inside the folder which is known as example, it has now ICT report, the file that we had created. However, you may also want to make copies of this file. There we can click to select it, then we right click. After right clicking, we shall move the pointer down to look for copy. So when we locate copy, it is down here. We click on it once. Now to make the copies, we shall again right click on an empty space, then we go and select paste. We click on paste. Now when you click on paste, you see we had one report known as ICT report, but now we have another one created ICT report with word copy. This means that we cannot have the same file with the same names in one folder. That's why we have this word copy. If we don't want this file in this folder, or we don't want this copy, that means we have to remove it. To remove it, we move our pointer to ICT report copy. We click once, then after right click, and then we shall move our mouse pointer up to the option for delete. We click on delete. So when you click on delete, this dialog box appears and it is asking you whether you want to move this file to the recycle bin. Our answer will be yes, so we shall click on the button yes. When you click on the button yes, the other file which had copy has now been deleted. On every window, we have got 3 buttons which are always on the top right corner. These buttons play different functions. The first one is called the minimize button. When you click on it, let's click once. So you see the window is minimized. That means it is taken down to the taskbar. When you point at it, it shows you that it is called the example window. So when you click it back, it reappears on the desktop. Then this second button is what we call the maximize button. When you click on the maximize button, let's click, you see it fill up the whole screen or the monitor. Let's click back on that same button once. It again tries to reduce on the size of the window. That is, its function is to make this window fill up the screen or reduce the size. Then the last button is what we call the close button. We looked at it previously, so we are not clicking on it at the moment. From there, we want to see how we can make this window, or how we can resize it, either big or small. Now how can we do that? We have these points. The corners can help us to do the resizing of this window. So let's go to this top left corner. So when you move there, you will see double arrow. You click. If you have seen the double arrow, to reduce on the size of this window, we move this window as you're moving it down to the left of your hand side. So this is how you can resize it. To make it big again, you can still use the same, click, hold, then move back on the top right corner without releasing the mouse button. We can also use these other points on top of the window. When we see the arrows, 2 double arrows, you click, hold, and move downwards as if you're going to the taskbar. You see the size of the window reducing. To take it back, we still do the same. Locate until the double arrows appear, click, and then move upwards. So that is how you can do the resizing of those of those windows that you may be dealing with at any given time. So now we have seen how we can resize our window. Now let's go and close this program for now. So we shall go to the close button. You click once, then we go back to our desktop. So that's it for now. See you in the next video.